to the Her Hoop Stats podcast. I am Christy Winter Scott, joined as always by my twin today. We didn't even plan this. Cindy Brunson, girl, the
That's great minds think alike, baby.
energy is on 1,000 right now because what? Every East Coast, West Coast, it doesn't matter. Look at us.
Mhm.
Oh, how are you, my dear?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I am doing well. It's been a lot of adjustments and,
Mhm.
the season's upon us. So I'm excited. I mean, the WNBA just ended up. We're going to chop it up about the W first. But
Yep.
then, wow, the next couple of weeks, Cindy, it's NCAA hoop time. And we have a lot to
Yes.
discuss on that front, as well as we're going to give everyone a couple of previews from a couple conferences, a couple big
Mhm.
conferences, Big
Yeah.
10, Big 12, and Big East. So a lot to
Mhm.
discuss on this one.
Yep.
But hey, first things first, I think we've got to dissect the Las Vegas Aces winning their third title in 4 years. And speaking of
Mhm.
fours, I mean, four-time MVP, A'ja Wilson. I can't
First
even
ever. First ever.
first ever. I'm like, what in the wide world, man? She
Mm.
totally commanded the moment, but not only that. I mean, it was the defensive intensity and the
Yep.
principles that were executed on that side of the floor that got Becky Hammond and the Aces another title.
Mhm. And the adjustments. The
Yes.
adjustments. Every game we saw something different defensively from Las Vegas. Whether it was the 2-3 zone, the box in 1, uh the triangle in 2. Like it
Right.
was just everything
Yeah.
was it was like Becky was not going to be out coached. She was playing chess and Nate was playing checkers.
Ah,
And trust. Now, Mark Davis might not have known who the highest paid coach was, but Becky knew. Becky knew. And that was bulletin board material. And I'm telling you, she wanted to school Nate Tibbetts on not only do I have the best player on the planet, but I have a roster around her that I can do some things with. And that's what she did. Like it was fantastic. Congratulations to Phoenix for getting to the finals. I don't
yeah,
think many people had that on their bingo card when the playoffs started. But
right.
I tell you what, it was a masterclass in how to chase a dynasty and be dynastic by the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, Becky Hammond, first of all, when she called that timeout in game 3 and got the ball
Mhm.
to A'ja Wilson, and oh my God, man, that was
Mhm.
what was it, 5 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Becky Hammond calls the timeout. I mean, I think everyone in the arena, everyone in front of their tube or the phone or the computer or whatever was watching the
Yep.
game at that time knew
Yep.
the basketball was going to A'ja Wilson, right? And she
Yes.
was individually covered, no double team came her way and she just
Mhm.
cashed that thing in and it bounced off the rim. I was hollering. I don't even know what time of night it was. It was late. But I was yelling my face off because I was like, first of all, the rise up on that
Mhm.
turnaround fader was
Yeah.
so freaking cold. I was just, I don't know, just
Yeah.
mesmerized by her
She beat
ability.
a whole household on that play
She
because
said what?
AT she beat a whole household on that play.
She did. She
DB
did.
and AT
Yeah.
were there defending, and she rose above both of
Yeah.
them and released with
Yeah.
2.2 on the clock.
Yeah. For
Her
22.
jersey number
Yeah.
on the clock
22,
for the
baby.
game winner.
Yeah. No, it was legit cold blooded and it just ferocious in terms
Yes.
of knowing that the ball was coming to you, right?
Yeah.
And Becky kind of joked after the game because I was listening to all the pressers afterwards, and it's kind
Mhm.
of like give the ball to A'ja Wilson and get out of the way kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all she needed was this much space, right?
Yep.
And yes, DB was coming in the shadows, lurking,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
she went away from that and spun with her. I mean, she's a left-handed player, so
Yep.
spun that way and got that bucket to drop in. It was, oh my gosh. And there were so many opportunities in the series, Cindy, that Phoenix could have taken game 1, right?
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah, even
not just
Nate
the
said he should have
post.
called timeout. Like,
Well,
the play
that
was
part,
falling apart, and he didn't help his team, and
no, that was,
Las
yeah.
Vegas said, "Thank you very much. We'll take this game 1."
Yeah, but you want to trust your players. So I've been on both sides of that as a coach, right?
Mhm.
You want to let it ride because they're in a flow. If you
Right.
see it's disjointed, you may want to take that time out. Obviously, if you have one in the pocket to take.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like, man, you have vets out there. You want to trust them. You don't want to handcuff them either and overcoach. So that's the
Right.
fine line of coaches, right? Do
Mhm.
you ride it out or do you call the timeout? Now you saw Becky out there too,
Yeah.
who saw it unfolding, and that clock was going down. I think they got possession with like 12 something seconds to go,
Yep,
and
yep, yep.
7 seconds went on where nothing was really
Yeah.
formalizing, and they couldn't really see what was unfolding. And Becky
Right.
Hammond was like, "Timeout." You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So, dude, God, that's like a fine line
Mhm.
whether to call the timeout and structure something because now you got to get the ball in again,
Yep.
right? And now you're gambling that. You already have the possession, so you're kind of giving up a solid 100% possession, right?
Mm.
To be able to get the ball inbounded again with really solid pressure because my God, it's like 5 seconds ago.
Yep.
So for her to do that, it was number one, brave, but also I trust you, but it's not looking right. So let's go time out
Yeah.
and get it together.
And that's muscle memory for Becky, right? Her core group has been together for 5 years. They know each other, they know the body language. She can look into Chelsea's eyes, she can
Yeah,
look into Jackie's eyes, she can look into Asia's eyes, and she can know
yeah,
exactly what's going through their mind. And Nate just
right,
doesn't have that muscle memory. He only knew Ka and Mac from last season. Those were the only 2 returners. He's only
right,
been in the league 2 years, so
right.
he just didn't have that
Yeah.
level of knowledge with
Mhm.
his players that Becky had and absolutely used to her advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it was a vet coaching move, right? I
Mhm.
mean, with
Mhm.
players who were vets and who
Yep.
she knew very well. Very, very well stated by you on that, and I agree. I concur. I mean, that's exactly what happened there. But everyone else really came forward as well. I mean,
Mhm.
especially in Game 4. Well, all throughout the series. But let's go back to Game 2 a little bit because everyone had pretty much a quarter for the
Yeah.
aces in that one. It was like Chelsea had a quarter,
Yes, yes.
J.O. had a quarter, Asia
Woo!
had
Well,
her
because
quarter.
Asia had the 2nd quarter, right? 13
Yeah,
points.
yeah,
And then Nate's like,
no,
"Okay, we gotta double Asia." And then all Asia did in the 3rd quarter was prove, "Oh, I'm a
yeah,
great passer as well. I'm gonna keep dumping it into Jackie because she on fire for a
yeah,
WNBA record 21 points in the 3rd quarter."
no,
It was whatever tweak Nate tried to answer with, the
yeah,
counter by Las Vegas was just top
yeah,
tier.
yeah. They had so much juice, man, and obviously tough to stop. And they tried.
Mhm.
Phoenix, give them credit for that.
Yep.
And the injury bug hit them. I was shocked and sad and surprised with
Mhm.
AT. You could see her shoulder come out, man. I just did not
Yeah.
think she could come back in. Cindy, what did it take for her to come back? I mean, she had the KT tape on there and everything. I
Mm.
I don't know how she compartmentalized. I know she's been playing with no labrums on
Oh,
the
I
right or
know.
left side.
Yep.
But what do you think that took for her not only to get hit like that and come back off that screen? I think it was Jewel Lloyd, and it wasn't anything
Mhm.
intentional. It was just wrong
No.
spot
It was just
at the
tough.
wrong
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Were you? What was your thought process during that situation in Game 4 for AT?
Well, I was just hoping that she could continue because I knew Phoenix didn't have any hope at all if she had to go to the locker room or remain on the bench. And she's
Mhm.
that critical to what Phoenix does. But
Right.
I was not surprised that she continued to play. She doesn't, to your point, have labrums. Like, and her pain threshold is
Yeah.
through the roof.
Oh,
Like, and this is how men and women are different, right? And
here
you
we go.
are walking proof of this. You have brought children into this world. You know what the pain
How
of labor is.
about that?
And a man in a
Right.
similar situation, I was just thinking of all the Suns players that would have immediately asked for assistance, help to the locker room, put me in the hospital, all of that,
All the things.
and not even thought of
No.
continuing to play.
Yeah.
And here's AT going, no, no, I'll gut it out. I'll take the painkillers later. I'll gut it
How about
out.
that?
Like she is just tough. TUFF
Yeah.
tough.
All in all caps because
Yeah.
and to your point, and I had 3 babies and only,
Mhm.
2 of them I had the, epidural for. So, Jordan was
Right.
the most, baby born in the car, which is another
Woo.
story for. Yeah, so searing pain. Yeah, searing.
Yeah.
Love them all dearly. However, searing
Yes.
pain. Searing pain.
Yes.
So I don't know, like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't know, and especially, like, feeling it, like, to see it on slow motion and to see it.
Yes.
Man, listen, that was so it was so disgusting, man. Oh my
Yeah.
god, but all,
Yep.
just all credit and respect to her to be able to come back out there and not only battle it out, but I mean, they showed her grimacing after she scored a bucket. I mean, she was
Yeah,
like in that kind of mode, like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I mean,
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God. Like, that was to
And
me,
that's who you want in the trenches with you, right?
oh,
You
no doubt.
you want a warrior. You want
Absolutely
somebody
like
who
that.
wants to win more than they want to breathe, because you know at that point even breathing is difficult,
I
let
mean,
alone exerting yourself to play defense and shoot and all of the things. So, yeah.
things, all the things. No, but what does
Mhm.
this say? Let's just cap it with, what does this say for Phoenix moving forward? Obviously, they didn't have Satu Sabli, who had the concussion protocol in Game 4. She was
Right.
missing in that and missed part of Game 3 because of that hit that she
Mhm.
took and could barely get up, which is another story for another day too. But
Right.
I hated to see that. That was so tough when she stood up and was like really groggy and that was hard to
Mm.
watch.
Yeah, she was visibly woozy.
Visibly. So,
Yeah.
just encapsulize for us what this season was like for Phoenix and moving forward. I know there's going to be, this carousel with the free agency and all those things this
Right.
year for the WNBA, but what is it looking like for life in Phoenix for the Mercury moving forward there?
Well, Phoenix has proved that it will roll out the red carpet to the folks that they want to be in the desert. The practice facility is up and running. It is fantastic. The X Factor had the highest drawing attendance throughout the playoffs. So the fan base proved you want to get cheered on and loved on. This is the place to be. So
Yeah.
I think those two things will really help Phoenix moving forward. I also think that Christy Tolliver appointed herself beautifully when Nate Tibbetts got tossed and has demonstrated she's ready for that first chair.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying Nate is out, put Christy in, but Christy
Yep.
will not be there to help him, hopefully, because she's going to be in Dallas or Toronto or Portland, or you know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
she should be a head coach in this league. So it just depends on who wants to say, because everybody's a free agent minus the folks on rookie deals.
Right.
So what do you build on? What do you do to attract? And now you got to look at the players that are leaving to go play in Athletes Unlimited or Unrivaled or overseas and see what kind of cross pollination is happening. You know, rosters were built in
Yeah.
those scenarios this past
Oh,
season
that's
because
right.
everybody was one and done.
Yeah.
So what does that look like moving forward?
Right.
But I think there's a lot of good that Phoenix can offer.
Hmm.
And it'll just be interesting to see what free agents say, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Because you could argue it's still more alluring in Golden State, in Las Vegas,
Mhm.
in Minnesota, in Seattle. You look at the opportunity to play with somebody like Malonga. I mean, my goodness
Mhm.
gracious. Like, the stock arrow up in that scenario big time. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see, as I'm sure you are, how it all shakes out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And another team, and this is just me,
Mhm.
just being speculative here and
Right.
prognosticating that New York could be a place for Tolliver, but
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
I,
Sure.
or anywhere else.
Dallas. Dallas
I'm
has an opening.
thinking like,
Who wouldn't wanna coach Paige? And who wouldn't wanna play
yeah,
with Paige? Like,
right,
this for me is the interesting part of all of the opportunities. 2 new teams, so
yeah,
that's at least 22 roster spots, right?
right,
So,
right.
yeah, it's the future is definitely white hot and bright in the WNBA.
Yeah, and I said New York just because I threw it in there because I mean she played with Cloud and Mieseman,
Oh, sure, sure.
I mean, as soon as that happened, I was like,
Yeah.
sure. But that's just me, I don't know anything. I just was thinking,
No, I
I
love
was like,
that. I absolutely love
extra
that.
feel of mine up here
Yeah,
on the road.
yeah,
But I was just thinking that could be a possibility for KT, but you know, we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. See. So moving forward for the Aces, what does this do for them? Because my God, I mean, they started the season 12-13 and then ripped off
Mhm,
17 in a row because they got their defensive structure right.
mhm.
Joe Lloyd elected to serve as a player off the bench for them, which
Yeah.
catapulted
Huge.
O'Shea to Jewel. I love her to death, but
Mhm.
she opted that uh, for the team. And then they get Melissa Smith, who took a ton of pressure off of
Mhm.
Asia Wilson because of
Yep.
how they have to guard her, right?
Mhm.
With her ability to score the basketball and rebound and defend and do all those things.
Yep.
So those 17 games in a row, then obviously winning the title
Mm.
encapsulates what the season was like for the Aces because of all of how they started and then of course how they ended the season as well.
It's all about Asia Wilson. She
Mhm.
is her, capital H, capital E, capital R. When the team was struggling and at 500, she
Yeah,
said, "This is unacceptable.
she
And
did.
if you don't wanna be a part of the deal to change it,
Mhm.
there's the door. And if you stay,
Stay
don't
with
let go of the rope."
Yeah.
And I tell you what, for that kinda leadership, her growth as a player, her skill set, she brings something different to the table every single season. She
Yeah.
just improves upon excellence, which is an
Yeah.
absolute credit to her and her team behind her. But
Mhm.
I was most impressed this season. All of the numbers were eye-popping,
Yeah.
but for me, it was the leadership piece, the ownership, the "We are going to do this the right way because I look around this locker room and I see a dynasty, and
Yeah.
I see a team that can compete with what the Houston Comets did when this league started." We
Right.
haven't seen a team win this much in this short window of time. Remember, Minnesota got the 4 chips, but they did it every
Every
other year.
all the
Las
odds.
Vegas has put in a back-to-back and then
Mhm.
took a pause and then won a third. So if they mess around and win next year, that's the closest we've come to what we saw from Houston to start this league.
Yeah. With 4 in a row. Yeah. For
Mhm.
Houston.
Yep.
With how they did it too. I mean, Jackie Young was absolutely the straw that stirred the drink for them, and I'm going to say
Yeah.
that, and that's not taking any credit away from everyone else who started their role, obviously, to win the
Right.
championship. I heard Chelsea Gray said, a lot of people have a lot of apologizing to do for us, right? And I
That
think
part.
it's because of
Yeah.
Jackie Young that they have to do that apologizing because, my God, you had to. I mean, she stretched the defense, number one, not just from the
Mhm.
3-point line, but you got to get those long run closeouts to her. And then she was breaking people off, like
Yep.
dropping people down and leaving people on the curb and getting to the rim.
Yeah.
And when she was right there at the cup, I mean, her cup game was nasty. I mean, she was just unstoppable and unreal with how she was able to attack the cup and finish that way. But when you're looking
Mhm.
at what Jackie Young was able to do on the defensive side too, what was your assessment of her overall impact for the championship, not just the series, but the championship season that Las Vegas was able to put together?
I think Jackie Young paid acute attention to how Ka defended in the Olympics. When you look at your teammate and you go, "Oh, oh, that she got everybody on lock, and she's getting playing time because she puts people on lock. I can do that too. I haven't done that yet. I
Yeah.
haven't showed that level of consistency, so I
Mhm.
can get there."
Okay.
And I think that's the kind of defense because then she just created live ball turnover opportunities for herself.
I
Get
know.
out in transition and go. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and she was a nightmare. Every
She was.
guard in the league, poor Julie Van Loo, I'm sure, just sees Jackie Young and wants to start crying, right? They just like, go ahead, take the basketball, just have it. I'm done.
A lot of pressure.
Because that the pressure was
It
intense.
was.
And if you're not ready for that, if you don't have the play and the design to give your point guard relief from
Mhm.
that, it's a nightmare. It's just a
Yeah.
nightmare day at the office. And Jack was handing out nightmares like they were candy all season long. And it was a big part of the reason why uh, Chelsea Gray was able to defend the other team's other shooting guard, right? Not the big gun on the roster. And
Right.
then she's usually bigger than that person, right? Big guard. So then she was able to create live ball turnovers
Right.
and get in passing lanes and just make things miserable as well. So it really worked out. But the key for me was Jewel Lloyd going to Becky and saying, "I'm
Yeah.
coming off the bench. I'm
Yeah.
making this decision for you because
Yeah.
it's the right decision for the team."
Yeah. No, it was a selfless move, and it
Mhm.
got her third ring, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
into Seattle, and then now her
Yeah,
third.
undefeated in the finals.
Nuts. Yeah.
Undefeated in the
Oh,
finals.
like a sweet situation. like run out of
Yeah.
something. I did my different
Gold Mamba,
overcoat.
baby.
Did my
Gold Mamba.
like the sweet thing. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
but no, it was just a phenomenal showing, and I thought it was
yeah.
just a phenomenal coaching chess match, like you said, for Becky
Mhm.
Hammond to be able to get her team together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
After that slow start, and I know Chelsea Gray missed about 11 or 12 games to start the season. I think they were 6-6 during
Mhm.
that stretch with
Yeah.
her absence, and then
But
still
Jackie got better during that stretch because she had to run the point.
who? I'm sorry, I missed.
Jackie Young got better
Jackie.
during that stretch because she had to run the point.
She
She
did.
had to develop a new muscle that she hadn't used since college. So I thought that was a benefit too.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I think it was Jackie Young and Asia Wilson were on the post game podium, and
Mhm.
Asia said something like Bill Lambier was coaching them and had Jackie Young run the one, and she had never done it, since college or something like
Right,
that for a couple
right.
possessions. And Asia was like, okay, you know, but it sometimes, and because of that little bit of experience she had with it too in the pros, but it was very,
Mhm.
short lived. But I
Yes.
thought that was, I thought that was good too. But to
Yes.
have her take up space at the one, being
Mhm.
PG1, that's a lot of
Yep,
responsibility. But I think,
yep.
that helped her as well as,
Yeah, the
being at
versatility. It was the versatility. And then I hope the apologies to Dana Evans and Alyssa Smith are very long and very loud
long
because
and loud,
they were critical
oh
during
my.
the win streak and the playoff run to the chip.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Dana Evans was just a menace off the bench.
Mhm.
I mean, she was just amazing. And Becky Hammond said she marked the highest in their shooting competitions and practice and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, put the work in, so she was ready. It wasn't anything outside of her wheelhouse, period. And she saw
Mhm.
that and showed and proved it to herself. And that's,
And
I
I
mean,
love that she
yeah,
proved to everybody who's diminutive, right? Because there's a lot of little shooters out there who
yeah,
are like, "Oh, I don't know about that next level." And Dana's out in these streets going, "No, as long as you can hit, you can play.
yeah,
Like, you can't just take up space,
I agree.
you gotta produce, and
Yeah,
I'm showing you how that's done." And I
yeah,
thought that was fantastic.
yeah, she did, and I was so happy for her. I remember when she got drafted, and I think she dropped to the second round because I think she was slotted to be in that first round. I think she was either
Yeah.
first or second pick in the second round, and I remember
Yep.
she had those tears in her eyes, right? Because she was,
Mhm.
counting on maybe being chosen a little higher. But now
Right.
look, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to to be chosen. Period. And I
Listen,
think
she's a
that
two-time WNBA champion. Come
trophy now.
on.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that speaks for itself. You don't even need to say
Mhm.
anything. Like you just hold it up. What
Right,
it comes to
right.
one, two,
Here's my
three, four,
ring.
five.
Here's my
That's
ring.
it. That's it. But that speaks for itself. But I just remember that when they were jumping around and celebrating, I was like, I remember those tears she had on her face, right?
Yeah.
And all of that was used as fuel for Dana Evans to come off the bench and
Mhm,
light fire after fire for the Aces and then take
mhm.
home the trophy. So,
Yeah,
kudos to her for her journey and her example of resilience. Doesn't matter where you're drafted or whatever. You come in and you do
yeah,
the work and you get the job done. And not only that, you win a title. So kudos to her for that, and being a role model in that way because it's not a linear journey for a lot of
right.
hoopers. So to see her navigate and finish and win, I love it. Um, well, I guess that's it for the W. I could go on and on. I know we probably went too long on that, but I
Right.
did want to put kind of a pin in what the WNBA season was. A lot of
Sure.
new teams coming in next year, but those new teams are going to be drafting from the collegiate pool too, as well as overseas.
Yes.
That college season is
Yes.
right around the corner, Cindy. And I want to start with the Big 12 because that's where you're going to be out there on the West Coast a little bit,
Right. Well, let's start
and
with
and and the Big
this
East.
is all about the drive back to the desert. We were here in the desert for the WNBA championships in Phoenix, and
Yes.
Phoenix will host the women's Final Four first week of April in 2026. And when I tell you that this city
Yeah.
is beyond ready to crush this assignment, we've already got the countdown clock cranking at the airport. As soon as you arrive at Sky Harbor International Airport, it shows
Mm.
you X amount of days until the women's Final Four. It is a vibe. The activations are going to be out of this world. It's
Activating.
going to be an event. And Unlike in Tampa where there was humidity, and Columbus where there was snow and bad weather and all of the things, here it will be 85 degrees and sunny. You can golf, you can do all the things, and when
Yeah.
I tell you the most underrated thing that nobody talks about here in Phoenix, Scottsdale, is the restaurants.
Oh,
We
no.
have so many
Um,
excellent
yes.
restaurants. You will
Yeah.
never be hungry. You will always have something to do. Uh, Tiger Woods opened up like a mini
Okay.
putt top golf thing. Like it, there is just
Long as I
so
can
much fun to be had indoors and out. And I cannot wait for every women's college basketball fan to pull
yeah.
through, pull up, and enjoy.
Yeah, because what everybody put your shirt on.
Yes.
Everybody wants
Yes.
yeah,
Everyone
everybody
watches.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But no,
Okay, so to you I didn't mean
Big
to
12
interrupt. I just
oh,
wanted to
no,
give Phoenix and Scottsdale
it's the ending
the
point.
the ramping up that has already taken place
Okay.
has kind of blown my mind.
Okay.
So, I'm super excited for how everything is gonna look. Because you remember just a couple years ago, it was the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury that hosted the All-Star.
Yes.
And really pretty much set the benchmark of, okay, anybody who does this after this has got to up their game. And to Indiana's credit, they stepped up, they met the moment. So whoever is up next, in 2026, good luck because there is a standard now of what
Yeah,
the fan expects experience wise.
right.
And the group running the show for this women's Final Four understands all of that. So I am covering the Big 12. I'm play by play for the University of Arizona women's basketball. My analyst is Joan Bombasini. We're back for year 2 in that role. And
Yay.
we've got a new head coach in Becky Burke. And what I love about her is she's got a strong Natalie Nakase vibe
Okay.
of I know what I want. I know what I want my culture to be.
Okay.
And if you just buy in, we're going to get there together.
About that.
And I'm going to attend my third practice this week. I get that because you look at it, she was hired a little bit late in the process. A lot of
Yeah.
people had made their commitments, and
Mhm.
every coaching job, the big D1 jobs here in Arizona, all feature new head coaches. We got
Mm,
Molly Davis at Arizona State,
that's
new
true.
hires at NAU and GCU as a result.
Okay.
So a lot of change. So everybody was scrambling to fill roster spots and get the personnel that they wanted and the kind of players that they like to coach for the systems that they want to run. So
Mhm.
I think not only in the Big 12, but around women's college basketball outside of the top 25, we're
Mhm.
going to see a lot of new. And I just want to give fans a word of advice. Have some patience because Rome
Okay.
wasn't built in a day and it takes a second. Like the Valkyries came
Mhm.
out of the gate. Yeah, they filled this arena, no problem, but it took a minute for the wins to come
Right.
because nobody had played with each other before and they were trying to figure it out. And
Right.
so there's a lot of people have scheduled very softly
Okay.
in non-conference play as a result.
Okay.
So you might think, "Oh, we're world beaters because we're undefeated in non-con."
Mhm.
Give yourself some grace and some
Yeah.
patience because the teams at the top of the table in the Big 12, the Iowa States, um, TCU is gonna be there
Mhm.
again, Baylor, the usual suspects. They know how to eat and they are just waiting for everybody
Yeah.
to get on board, right? So, I'm excited for Big 12 Media Day. I'll head out to Kansas City early next week.
Okay.
And I was really impressed too because a lot of the teams are not just bringing 2 players, they're bringing 3.
Okay.
And so I'm excited to see, okay, well, this will be Gavin's first full deal as the head coach at Utah, right? Because he took over for Lynn Roberts when she left to go to the LA Sparks. So
Mhm.
this is his first time rolling into KC as the guy for Utah. So
Right.
just little things like that. I'm like, okay, what is that going to look like? How do they move on after losing Gianna Neepkins? I mean, what a huge first of all, yay UCLA, good on you. What a get. But what a huge hole for Utah to have to fill scoring wise.
Right. Yeah, no question about it. I know, you said that, Rome wasn't built in a day. I understand the
Yeah.
pace. all that needs to be there. And I mean, the seeds are planted. So as soon as you plant
Yes.
the seed, you don't see the fruit from that on day one. So
Right.
there has to be some cultivation of the
Yeah.
seeds that have been planted. So what can you say could be what the fruit will look like come March for these teams?
I'm telling you what, Jada Williams to Iowa State makes that team so dangerous
Love
because
her.
they got a point guard that not only can shoot the three, she's improved her 3-point shooting numbers throughout her career at Arizona,
Yeah,
but they have a toughness muscle
yeah,
now that I just don't think they've had in years past at that position
right.
where whatever is needed will get done. On the defensive side, on the offensive side, and
Oh,
especially the drive and kick feature,
oh,
that Jada provides is just huge, and she is a walking soundbite, Christy.
she
She's
is.
admitting you. Like, she loves the shine, she's not afraid of the microphone, like, she is entertaining,
Yeah.
and I think Iowa State fans are just going to
Mhm.
love having that young lady on the roster.
For sure. But
Yeah.
no, I love Jada. We covered her last year.
Yeah.
Just to sit down with her. I mean, she
Yeah.
is, like you said, a walking soundbite, but at the same time,
Yeah.
she has so much great energy and she
Mhm.
wants to be successful for the team. Like it's so
Yeah.
selfless for her. She gets it. She understands the assignment of her role. And I
Yeah.
think at Iowa State for the Cyclones, I mean, she's going to be a tornado for them. I mean, that's
Yes.
the emoji. Like that's going to
Yeah.
be for Iowa State. I mean,
Yeah,
she
she's a vibe. She's a
brings
total vibe.
all that love. I mean, you can
Yeah.
tell how much she loves the game
Mhm.
with how she plays and her why, right?
Right.
Her why shines through in every word that she says, but also how she plays the game. So
Yeah.
I am really excited to see what she looks like on the floor with the Cyclones and how well she's going to present that great
Yeah.
energy on and off the court there. And I think they're going to, ingratiate her with the fans.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to be really fun to see how that looks and unfolds
Yeah,
moving
and TCU. I never count out Mark Campbell. I know
true
he's got basically a completely new roster.
to see what they can look like nationally after making a deep run in
Yeah.
the NCAA tournament last year. I think that's going to be fun to see as
Yeah, that
well.
was the one thing Molly Miller got at
I-
Arizona State. As soon as she walked in the door, they
mm.
backed up a Brinks truck. "What do you need? Who can we pay?" And I was like, "Huh." I was curious why the previous administration didn't get that Brinks truck, but that's a conversation for another day. But
Bloop,
I know, right? So, yeah.
bloop. Yeah. No, I don't know the particulars. I don't know. I'm not in anybody's pockets. I don't like doing that.
Right,
But
right.
at the same time, anyway, we should have
Yeah.
talked about the W segment, but I digress. Anyway, I mean, we can still talk about, but we'll come back to it. We'll come
Well,
back
no,
to it.
but you just wrapped up an amazing run at Big Ten Media Day. Like,
I,
what team jumps out at you there besides the LA schools? I know the LA
oh,
schools
you can't
have
take
all kinds of shine.
you can't take those off the plate when you ask me that.
Listen, Lauren Betts, Player of the Year. I'm
Come
just
on,
gonna say it
it's
right
not.
now.
Hey,
I
when
think
you look at that,
her and Sienna are going to make the best front
yeah,
court
yeah,
in the entire country. Like,
yeah.
that is gonna be so formidable for teams to deal with. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it was so much fun, to see everybody again. As you know, when you go to the media days, it's like everyone else is kind of all sectioned out and you're assigned to different
yep.
games. So you don't see everybody
Mhm.
until you go to a media day in the fall. So it was really obviously lovely to see all the Big Ten family there in Chicago. And I
Yep.
mean, UCLA is picked number one in the Big
Mhm.
Ten, even when they had a lot of players leave, graduation, portal, and all of the things. But
Yep.
Lauren Betts is back. Kiki Rice is back. Sienna is a freshman, and she is Lauren's younger sister. And there was
Yeah.
some banter about that, which I thought was very cute. I think Mike Hall, who I was sitting on the side set with when UCLA came up, was Kiki and Lauren. And
Mhm.
he asked, "Hey, have you guys played one on one against each other, and how does that work out?" And Lauren was just like,
Mhm.
"Listen, like I think Lauren seems like she's the more obviously she's the bigger sister, older sister, and everything. But
Mhm.
it's like she said, she's more on the calm, cool, collected side, and her sister's more on the silly side or something like that. But
Right, right.
they can't get through a game because first of all, they're both ultra competitive, and we knew
Yeah.
that obviously. But they don't really do that much anymore. And I thought that was
Mhm.
pretty interesting to hear. But I
Yeah.
love Corey Close. I love how philosophical she is
Same.
with her approach to competition, and for that turnover to happen for them and for them to be
Mhm.
coming in preseason ranked number one. I think that is going to be exciting to see how
Mhm.
that translates to the floor. And speaking to Kiki Rice and to Lauren Betts prior to the side set conversation that we had over there for the Big Ten Network, it was
Mhm.
interesting to hear them say, we're not on last year. We went to the Final
Well,
Four, but we're not thinking about that. Like, well, last year we did this. We are on to the next. And I thought that was so refreshing to
yeah.
hear from these players. Like, okay, what we did last year was great. We won 34
Mm.
games. We did all these great things and took a deep run into the tournament. But guess what? That was last year. Every season
Mhm.
is different personalities, different groups, different rotations. And we got to
Yep.
get right for now. Like, that was fine what we did last year. We're not like begrudging that
Mhm.
experience, but we're not standing there. Our 10 toes are where we are right now. And I thought that
100%.
was a huge point. What's your take on UCLA?
Charlie's Ledger Walker. She is
Yeah.
healthy, she is available, and she has the opportunity to be one of the most dynamic point guards, not just in the Big Ten, but in the country. You'll recall she led Washington State University to an unprecedented 3 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. She won Wazoo a
Yeah.
Pac-12 tournament title. This is a big guard
Mhm.
who has eyes in the back of her head, can shoot the leather off the basketball,
Mhm.
and enjoys the assist more than the score.
Yeah.
So, with all of the weapons around her, she can easily be the straw that stirs the drink. And Kiki now becomes the natural two. Yes, she can play the one, but she's a natural two. So she's back into her position.
Mhm.
And then you have the Betts sisters. Angela Dugalich is back. I mean, like, weapons upon weapons upon weapons that Charlize will find on the regular. If she doesn't average 8 assists, I'll be surprised. Like,
Same.
she is that kind of guard, and
Yeah.
she went to UCLA to catapult herself into
Mhm.
the opportunity to be the first person from New Zealand to stick and stay in the WNBA. And I have all kinds of confidence that she's going to do that.
No, I love that so much. And yeah, I mean, Lauren Betts has mitts, man. You just throw it in her direction. It's like two
Yeah.
magnets, like, and then she just
Yep.
collects finishes right there at the rack. I can't wait to see them play, and I want to see what that looks like to take Kiki Rice off the ball, right, and
Mhm.
free, like you said, to her natural position at the two, and to see
Yep.
her boogie and attack the elbow and see what the defense does. If you collapse to that, she's going to drop a dime down to the
Yeah.
bet system. You're going to be buried in the paint. All right. So
Yep.
I love that so much. And I'm really anticipating that being a great squad yet again, strong and a deep push into the tournament on the
Mhm.
NCAA level. And not just speaking of the Big Ten tournament, which is kind of a mini NCAA tournament with 7 teams in the top 25 this year
Right?
coming into the season. But you're also looking at a team in Maryland who is ranked 10th
Mhm.
in the preseason poll. Brenda
Yep.
Freeze, I don't know, she has just been a savant in terms of getting the portal and bringing
Yep.
the proper players in, right? She's like, okay, this is a new world with the NIL. I know
Mhm.
the rules. I understand everything. And this is what I've been able to do. I mean, she's gone to the Elite Eight. She's done all these
Yep.
things with players leaving and then bringing players in, but they all
Mhm.
come in with the standard of winning at the forefront. What do you say about what Maryland is going to be able to do? I mean, they have a couple of transfers that they also picked up coming
Mhm.
into this season, including Yarden Garazon from
Yes.
who was lighting up
Sniper.
42
Sniper from
from 40.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. I put her
Oh,
on one of my preseason lists for
yeah.
hoop hall voting. She's a Swiss Army knife. I
She
really like her game. She's
yeah.
quiet, but just does all of the little things well. You never have to worry about her being in the right defensive rotation. You never have to worry about her space and pace. And
Right.
she defends as if her ability to breathe depends on it. And
Mhm.
you have to have that in the Big Ten. So I thought that was a very good pickup. My concern with Maryland and everybody, quite frankly, is
Mhm.
injuries. Every time Maryland has put out a great team over the last 3, 4 years, the
Yeah.
injury bug has just taken a gigantic bite out of the roster, and it's
Yeah.
been tough to overcome. So I'm just hoping the Terrapins finally have some good luck and good health, and we
Yeah.
can finally see Brenda Freeze and her wonderful ability to coach them up. Like,
Yeah.
she really pours into her players and is able to run a lot of interesting sets because not only does she recruit athletes, she goes after really high IQ folks too. So she can change on the fly. She's one of the folks that can go into the locker room at halftime or adjust between the third and fourth quarters or 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. This isn't working. We're going to do this now. And that's
Right.
so fun as a fan to watch. So yeah, I think the ceiling is really, really high as this season starts for what the Terps want to do.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Brenda Free said at the media day last week, she said Yarden Garzon, for as good as she is offensively and the prowess on that side, obviously
Mhm.
she's long and lanky and can be disruptive on the defensive end with those long arms and long legs. I mean, she's 6'2", right? But she's
Mhm.
long with her ability to take up space there. But she said that she has been most pleasantly surprised with Yarden's ability to pass the ball. Like
Yeah.
her vision as a passer has been
Mhm.
quite the surprise. So I thought that was really good information
Yeah.
to glean from her. But it's also who she's surrounded with. I know you were talking about the injuries that Maryland
Mhm.
has had to incur, and
Yeah.
one of those players was Bree McDaniel last year. After
Yeah.
January 14th, didn't play
Ugh.
any games because of that knee injury. She is coming around. We don't know. There's no date where she's going to be cleared 100%. I don't know if she may be cleared, but I don't know what that's going to look like for
Right.
Maryland in terms of inserting her into the rotation and playing heavy minutes or anything like that. She was at
Mhm.
media day though, and I love catching up with her. She always checks my manicures, which is always cute.
Oh, that's nice. I love
There,
that. I love
um,
that.
but Kayleen Schmeichel as well, another transfer from Rutgers. Not last year.
Mhm.
Last year was her first year at Maryland, but she had
Right.
transferred from Rutgers. When she transferred from there, she averaged about 22 a game, averaged about
Mhm.
18 a game last year for the Terps. Another player who can get it done on the defensive end. I mean, she led Maryland in scoring and in steals last year with
Ooh.
2 of them. So, I mean, she's a wheelhouse and energy giver to the team.
Mhm.
And I will say that her stoic confidence at media day
Mm.
had me very intrigued because
Okay.
I was like, she seems different in a good way. But she
Yeah.
was like, it was like this, like, yeah, we're gonna come out there and we're gonna do this. And I was like, okay. I mean, I got chills.
Okay. All business. All business. I like that.
Put the work in. I was
Okay.
you put the work in, you can, say it like you want it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, yeah.
She was awesome in that way. So Maryland, another team there in the top 10 in the early voting for the AP
Mhm.
poll. Saw that.
Yeah.
So another team, USC, and we'll just do like the top five. I know
Sure.
it's USC, Michigan, Ohio State, Maryland are the top five, and that's not in any particular order other than
Mhm.
UCLA being number one. But
Right.
with those teams, you're looking at a USC team that obviously Juju Watkins has already said that she is going to be missing the entire season this year
Good
as
for her.
she continues to
Take your
recover.
time. Take
Yeah,
your time, baby. Take your time.
at ACL. So, I mean, they
Mhm.
have Jazzy Davidson. I mean, a dynamic young freshman. I coached with her in my little 3 or 4 day Under Armour events that I had her when she
Mhm.
was one of the babies in those groups, but obviously
Right.
handpicked because of her ability to do every single thing well. I mean, she's had USA basketball experience, and she
Mhm.
was at media day as well, and she was there with Kendall. And for me, I just loved hearing what she thought the Big Ten would be, like for
Yeah.
her. Like, what is this jump going to be? And I think that was one of the questions that we posed to her. And it was
Mhm.
like, it's going to be physical, it's going to be fast, but I'm ready for it. Was kind of the answer, and not verbatim. But what's your take
Mhm.
on USC? No Juju Watkins, but Lindsey Gottlieb. I mean, she has scheduled so tough in the
Mhm.
non-conference portion of the season to test their wares prior to the Big Ten conference season beginning.
Yeah, it reminded me of how Corey Close scheduled a few years ago with her UCLA team that was really, really good, and then they got punched in the face a lot, and then they couldn't quite recover.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that doesn't happen to USC. I would argue that the women of Troy have weapons upon weapons
Mhm.
upon
Mhm.
weapons. When you look at what they lost,
Mhm.
with Juju Watkins out, but then London Jones goes, "You know what? I'm just gonna go across town. I'm gonna
He
start
sure
shooting threes for USC." Like, they're gonna be fine. They're
Mhm.
gonna be really formidable
Mhm.
because they have scoring threats at every single position and people that just aren't one dimensional. I mean, Lindsay Gottlieb has really embraced this whole positionless player, and I don't want just a rebounder. I don't
Mhm.
want just a three-point shooter. You have to be able to do
Yeah.
everything at
Yeah.
every position. And she has gotten the top players in the country to
Yeah.
come to USC to do that on that team. And I think it's amazing. And then when you look at the players and you listen to them and say, yeah, Cheryl Miller was at our practice pouring into us yesterday. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Lisa
Goaty
Les
goat, goat, goat? Like, what?
Yeah.
You can't beat
Listen.
that level of alumni participation. Cynthia Cooper pulls through. Like, it's it's an added element that
Yeah.
is just going to make those young women that much more confident and that much more ready to meet this tough schedule and
Right.
to rise and just go, "Yeah, we're built for this. We're okay. UConn is here
Mhm.
and they're 1, we're 1A, we're 1B." And to have that mindset with the youth on that roster
Mhm.
is elite. And I knew what was coming in was really good because of what left.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
had sharpshooters just going, "Nah, I had a great freshman year, but I'm out." I'm like, "Wait, what? Huh?
I know.
Heckle? Where are you going?" Like, "What?
Yeah.
Whoa."
Yeah.
So, that told me when those young women thought they wouldn't get minutes
Mhm.
because of what was coming in, I'm like, "Okay, USC, you have my complete and total
Mhm.
attention." And because of those transfers, I think keep an eye on University of Washington.
Okay.
UW, they may not win the Big Ten title, but that team, I bet, will determine who will.
Okay.
They are going to be sneaky, scary, good.
Okay. Yeah, that's Tina Langley. I don't
Yep.
put anything past my girl now.
Yeah.
She's good, and she
They're
coached,
all kind of the same height,
yeah,
They're there's not like
with
a super big or anything like that,
yeah,
but they all defend
they
and they can
do.
shoot the leather off the basketball.
They shoot the leather off that thing. Yep, 5 out.
Mm,
Good luck with
yep.
those long closeouts because those shots are going up. And but Tina
Yes,
Langley uh,
yes.
was on Brenda Freeze's staff at Maryland for a stretch of time
Mhm,
there, so it's really great to see her in the Big Ten in that
mhm.
capacity as well. The second year for UW being in the Big Ten, but.
Yeah,
Going back to USC, obviously, Kiki or Yiffin graduated and played with the
yep,
Washington the WNBA this past year, but bringing in these dynamic freshmen and some transfers at London and
mhm,
everybody. But
yep.
you have Kitty as well. What's your take on her next step for USC?
I just am really excited for the opportunity to see the iron sharpen iron
Mhm.
moments early with this tough schedule that you mentioned from Lindsay,
Mhm.
and how the players process that in real time. Because it's one thing to say, "Yeah, we can handle this,"
Mhm.
but it's another thing to do it. And,
Right.
it's gonna be under bright lights, it's going to be under, national TV spotlight, all of the things. And I do love the fact that not only is Lindsay Gottlieb building this program,
Mhm.
but she's getting her part of the city of Los Angeles behind her. The Galen
Mhm.
Center is finally full, like it should have been for years on end.
Love that.
But now when you go to a USC game, like I have, and I've
Mhm.
been on Figueroa and the line is around the block,
What?
it's awesome because
What?
all of those folks are going into the arena to cheer and
Yeah.
take in the greatness that is women's basketball. So I just love that those pieces are in place and now all they have to do is find the chemistry and figure it out relatively quickly, right? They just don't get that many practices together. All of a sudden, the games are happening 2 and 3 a week, and then in the Big Ten, you've got the cross country travel element, and you're
Yeah.
gone for 2 weeks at a time. Like it's a whole thing. So, just how they handle all of that. But I think they're built for it, and I cannot wait to see what unfolds.
Yeah, no, no question. I am too. I know that's going to be quite a test in the non-conference portion of the season, but I know
Mhm.
that, like you said, iron sharpens iron. They'll be prepared for the Big Ten with, like you said, 7 teams in the top 25. Yet
Yeah.
again, after 12 teams making it to postseason play last year in the Big Ten out of the 18 teams. So that's just
Yeah,
mesmerizing.
that was a record, right? A record 12?
That is
Yeah,
a in
yeah.
and of itself. I mean, that's pretty amazing right there. But when you're looking at other teams to look for, we're talking about the top 5 in the Big Ten, and then we're going to move on to the Big East. But Michigan. I mean, they
Mhm.
had such a solid run. Kim Barnes-Arico is just another amazing coach in the Big Ten, whom I love to chit chat with. We both have 3 kids around the same age, so we always talk about our kids first, and then we talk.
Aw.
But I just love talking to her about this young team. I mean, last year she had 2 freshmen on her squad who not only averaged 16 points apiece, but
Mm,
also came to the table ready to hoop as freshmen. And that is uncommon. So for her to be able to not only like cultivate the counters to the defensive schemes that now they're going to see.
mhm.
What do you see from the Michigan Wolverines in terms of this second year jump for this young squad for Michigan?
Well, I love that they're still there, right? Because I thought it was gonna be there was a potential for, like, a Sarah Williams situation leaving Wisconsin, going to UConn, right? Like, when you put up numbers like that, you get attention from other places.
Mhm.
So, the fact that they're still together is huge.
Yeah.
And then they've had a year in the system, right? They
Mhm.
understand what the coach expects, and they really demonstrate a very high IQ. Their
Mhm.
adaptability, I think, is what separates them as a tandem, and that's really exciting to see what they've done. What were their focuses during the off season? What did they wanna improve on? I know the left handle, you can always get that better, right? Or the right
Right.
handle if it's your offhand. Those little things can go a long way, and I'm super excited to see the elevation of the defense,
Mhm.
right? Because when you come in as a freshman, that's never very good. So now that piece can help turn their defensive stops into offensive possessions, whether it's live ball turnover or just dominating the defensive glass. And I fully expect Michigan to do that.
Yeah, Kendall Dudley is a player that Michigan picked up with the transfer portal out of UCLA. So another player
Mhm.
who can get out into the open floor like a gazelle on the open
Mhm.
floor when they get those stops in live ball situations, as you were referring to. But I mean, you're looking at a team that, even though they are young, they have
Yep.
had a lot of experience. Silas Swords has, Olympic level experience with the Canadian national team. So
Yep.
to see her make that jump, right? I mean, she has a lot of experience behind her. So when you say like, okay, last year, obviously a freshman, right? But she
Mhm.
has so much more experience than any other typical freshman. How do
Yep.
you see that serving her well now, making that sophomore surge, if you will? Because I know for a fact, high school freshman and sophomore year, you see a big jump. Same
Mhm.
thing on the collegiate level and in pros, from
Right.
rookie to next season for the pros is even a big
Mhm.
jump. Where do you see her stylistically changing and making that jump from year 1 to year 2?
I defer to Canadian assistant coach Christy Sides, who said that Sila's upside is limitless. It's whatever she wants it to be, that she is so coachable and she wants to win so badly that she is a coach's dream.
Yeah.
Whatever you put in front of her, whatever you draw up, whatever you tell her to improve on, whatever drill you put her through, she wants to crush it. She wants to lead the team. She doesn't necessarily want to be the vocal leader, but she wants to lead by example. And that is worth its weight in gold. I mean, especially when you look at the competition that they will face night in and night out, especially in conference play, where
Right,
you're going to have to give your best to be on the right side of the scoreboard.
right.
Styla she's an exciting player and a
Yeah,
3-level scorer. So now it's for me, get the percentages up. You can always improve. And
right.
she has the potential to really flirt with a 50-40-90. And I think that's super exciting.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. And Olsen as well. I mean, is a beast.
Mhm. Yep,
With size, runs the floor, defends exceptionally well. I'm
yep.
excited for Michigan. I always love to see that jump between first and second year players and what
Mhm.
that looks like and how that presents on the court. So we'll definitely be cued into that. Another team to be cued into is
Yeah,
in Ohio and Ohio
yeah.
State. Again, getting into the top 25 in the preseason polls.
Mhm.
They don't have Cody McMahon who transferred to Ole Miss, right? And
Yeah.
she was kind of who, they kind of went through and went to on the offensive end. Like she had to touch the basketball. I don't care
She was the
if it was
floor general, period.
right.
Like,
It wasn't necessarily for her to score all the time.
no, she was like AT is for Phoenix. Like
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
big guard, point forward, whatever, like,
Yeah.
that's what she was for Ohio State, and she has been that player for
Mhm.
Ohio State for so long. I can't imagine a Buckeyes team without her, so that is going to be a new look for me to adjust to.
For sure. Yeah, same. And I think, when you have a player like that who did dominate and not necessarily with the basketball in her hand, because I mean, wherever
Mm-mm.
she went, the defense morphed to where her area was, right? And they
Yep.
tried to take her spin move to the rim, which was her go-to
Mhm.
move, it seemed. But for me, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see Jelani Cambridge, right? Other player
You
who can
mean the human highlight reel? That Jelani?
she's and I never did this, but I can do it without the ball. I'm very good at that, but
Oh,
I
there
never.
we go, there we go.
But
Listen, I had Ohio State at UCLA last year,
oh yeah, oof,
and Jelani put on a show.
he's
Like, she
sick.
was
Yeah,
the stress that she caused Corey Close that night was palpable. Like,
yeah,
she's got that Kennedy Carter vibe, right? Where
like
she
that.
can just she doesn't look that big, but she is fast as you know what, and
Good luck.
she just goes on
Yeah,
heaters where she's unconscious with the basketball in her hand.
yeah, yeah.
And so that is a nightmare for any coach to have to defend. And at the end of the day, Ohio State just didn't have the size to slow down Lauren Bentz. She had a huge double double, but Cambridge did her part.
He
That's
did.
how forceful of a player as a freshman that she was. So I cannot wait to what you talk about a ticket selling player.
Yeah,
That young woman can hoop.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, she's dancing with the stars. That's what I call her because listen,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
but her sister, Kennedy Cambridge, on the
Yeah.
team as well, had some
Yep.
really prolific scoring games. She's a great defender too. I'm not taking that away from her, but I mean,
Right.
she's a player for Kevin McGuff's squad that's going to be able to go
Mhm.
out there and make some noise. And I want to see schematically because I know Kevin McGuff has a playbook that is like this thing. So without Cody McMahon on the floor, I know he's going to come up with some really great schemes
Mhm.
offensively to get both of them activated offensively. And whether that's
Yeah.
for Jelani to get downhill to the cup or to get a piece of the paint and spray it out to her sister right in the
Mhm.
corner for a triple. What do you like most about Kennedy Cambridge and what she's going to be able to present?
I think she is so used to coming out of that shadow, right? Because Jelani creates a lot of light and a focus. And I think she is so used to now, having been on the floor with her during Jelani's freshman year, of what
Mhm.
that looks like for her opportunity to eat. And I
Right,
saw that in that UCLA game up close when I was courtside, that her moving without the basketball is
absolutely.
going to be her best friend, right? Like that is the best skill that she can bring to the table. When she sees how the defense is shifting toward her sister, how does
Mhm.
she rub off her defender and get available? to get that ball in the shooting pocket, rise and fire, because she too is a 3-level scorer. And I think the best part of her game is the mid range. Like her
Agreed.
midi, oh my goodness gracious. Like she at times was giving Courtney Williams vibes, like just that strong of a, I got this, just I'm right here, I'm flashing, my hands are up, get her the ball when she's open, give it to her in the shooting pocket and let her do her damage.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Courtney Williams in the WNBA for the Minnesota Lynx,
Mhm.
I think it was 40% of her offense or a little
Yeah,
42%
yeah,
from the range for her.
yeah.
And the thing about that I think is most mesmerizing is the fact that everybody knows that, and she was still able to get to her spot. So
And she's still eating.
dropping them in. Hey, listen, I love it. Stud bud
Mhm.
right there. But I
Yes.
love the fact that when players are still able to operate and understanding of what they like to do and are still able
Mhm.
to do it, that is the
Mhm.
purest skill for me. And
Yes.
that will stand out in the highest level of respect because the audacity of you to still try to get it and we're trying to take it away. And not only the
Mhm.
audacity, but the execution of
Yeah,
that set audacity is really a
yeah.
beautiful thing for me to witness for a lot of players, but especially
Mhm.
in the mid range like that, like you were saying for Kennedy. So I think that's
Well,
going to be,
what I really hope for Kevin McGuff and Ohio State,
yeah,
is something that they didn't have last season, and that was consistency. Like, he would roll the ball out, and he wasn't quite sure which version of his team was going to show up.
yeah,
And I think he would admit that. So if they can get consistent with
mhm,
what they wanna do night in and night out,
yeah,
just from a schematic deal, because he even told us pregame, he's like, "I know if the right version of this team shows up, we can get this upset.
right,
But if it doesn't, then it's gonna be a long night." So, I think the consistency piece, and this is another year together,
right.
with, yeah, so it's like with Cambridge sisters and all of that, I think that is gonna be very helpful for Ohio State in their postseason plans.
Yeah, no question about it, and no question. I'm anxious to see that, but they are in the top five coming in
Mhm,
preseason in the Big Ten, and we're out in
mhm.
Chicago, and now in the Big Ten portion. And I'm not leaving other teams out, but two
No.
things. Joe
Yes.
McKeon is retiring from Northwestern after this season, so
Wow.
a lot of ceremonious moments for him. I know he's
Right.
ending the non-conference portion of the season in December at GW, a team that he took to the Elite Eight years ago,
Aw.
Northwestern, because of his son's medical situation. That's the only reason why he left GW. So there are a lot of
Mhm.
different storylines to follow for Joe McEwen. I
Yeah.
love it to death. That's my guy, Joe.
And now
But
he's a freshly minted grandfather, right?
he is Megan McEwen's
Yes.
like a Benetton Gap baby. I mean, he is adorable. I saw Megan there and I saw all the pictures. We were in her phone, honey. I was looking at all of them. He is a
Oh,
doll,
I love it. I love
cute
it.
as a button, but yes, his grandson. But
Okay.
it's gonna be really great to send him off in the right way. And so he
Mhm.
already made the announcement that this was his final season there for the Wildcats in Chicago at Northwestern. So I'm happy about that. And the last
Right.
thing about the Big Ten, Keomi McMillan. Listen, she transferred from Rutgers. She's at Penn
Mhm.
State now. And let
Yeah.
me just tell you this. She played with my daughter AAU. She was 2 years younger than everybody. She was 2 years younger than AZ Fudd and Bree Scott, who are playing in the Big East, which is, I don't know if we have enough time to talk about the Big East, but
I
hopefully
don't think we do. I think we're
we
gonna have to
can get a
table
little,
that,
we
but
can get a little
that's
bit in.
okay. No, no, no.
Played AAU with a team that where everybody went and played at the next level in the Division 1 level. So
Right.
she was dropping bodies as the summer of her 8th grade year. And you know me on the side,
Wow.
I'm a cheer mom, but oh my God, I
Yeah.
cheer for the whole team. I cheer for everybody. But let me
Yep.
just tell that people were coming over to the court. Obviously, the team they played well. They were in the Elite Eight of the Under Armour, whatever. But she
Mhm.
came and dropped bodies every single game and put on this Kyrie Irving esque,
Ooh.
Isaiah Thomas back into the day esque display of dribbling the
Mhm.
basketball and making shots. She was absolutely insane. So she averaged 17 points at Rutgers. She's made the
Okay.
transfer, obviously, to Penn State. And I think that's going to be a player to circle in the Big Ten on what that looks like, how that feels for her
Mhm.
in a different system. So I think that's going to be another, circle to the
Right.
and storyline piece this season.
Listen, I love me a bucket getter.
And she dances with it. I wish, if I could go back in time, I would love to be
Mhm.
able to, put the ball down a little bit and like do something because,
Yeah.
dribbling, it looks cute, but if I did it with the ball would be like over there. I mean, I'm just saying, but she knows exactly. I mean, it's a yo-yo,
Mhm.
and it's a beautiful thing to watch. So
Mm,
that's another ticket selling player in the Big Ten to keep your eyes open for. So Keomi McMiller, Penn State.
okay.
Don't forget that name, and
Love
her
it.
name is legit. She's cold
Yeah.
blooded. So I love watching her play. So to this day,
Okay.
but
Can't wait.
Big East, I know we can get that in. I know BMAX probably. I know we're over the time.
No,
BMAX.
no, we have stressed BMAC out. I think we have
Oh,
stressed him out. Let's
sorry.
just end. We can revisit,
Yeah,
put Big East with ACC or something next week down the road.
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to short shrift them. So,
No, but I do have a small announcement.
okay.
Small announcement.
Announce.
Speaking of announce, we're going to be paired up again this year because we're going to be back on TNT
Oh
together.
my gosh, are you on my Big East
I hope we're on a lot of games together. I don't know if we have. I have to. It's
package?
breaking. Cindy.
Okay.
So
Breaking news. I love it.
my
Thank
like
you, TNT. Well, they put us together last year for that Acrisure tournament in Palm Springs, which was amazing.
they did. I don't know what happened to my life, but anyway, yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
You can still see me.
Yeah, so that is awesome. Look at you, Sly. I was talking about the games and you didn't say nothing.
I
Ooh.
on our pre-chit chat not to spill the beans, and I was telling BMAC when you were looking at something, I was like, BMAC, I'm going to drop the news. So
Okay, I
I'm
love that.
excited.
Wow. Not only did I get to do a pod with you, but now I get to be alongside at games with you. This is winning. This is what winning looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
That and this, like we're twinning. The
Yes.
same is there, like
Yes. Like
you know,
all of it. All
we're
of the things.
all together.
Yes.
Together
Yes.
again. So I'm
Yes.
super excited. We'll chat about that, but I didn't want to break the news before we got on here because I wanted your like organic
Oh,
reaction.
my organic what?
What in the
Yes. This is, this
heck?
is hello, day drinking is on the table because I will raise a glass. This is
it,
awesome.
on the East Coast, it's a little later, so it's okay. So
Well, it's almost 5 o'clock, but out
oh,
here, out west, where the Final Four will take place, there
yeah.
will be some day drinking.
Okay, pinky out. I know that's right. You got my cranberry juice listed with no ice and a lime. Period. That's what we do. But no, hey,
Oh,
I always love chit chatting with you, my friend, and I cannot wait to see you in
right back
person.
at
Hopefully,
you.
we have more games together. I don't know which ones. I have to cross check with you, but hopefully
Yeah.
we have some together on that Big East package, and we'll get to Big East. But UConn coming in preseason #1 in the AP
Yeah, they're
poll. So
pretty good.
yeah, not too bad. AZ Fudd, Player of the Year last year on that championship
Yeah.
run for the Huskies, and Gino Ariema,
Mhm. Yep.
Paige Beckers, Les,
Mhm.
UConn squad. But
Yeah.
still, obviously, Sarah Strong is there, and yeah, all the
Yeah.
things. So
Sarah
that'll be
Williams.
yeah.
Sarah
Sarah
Williams, like
led the Big Ten in blocks with 2 games. So
mhm.
another rim
Yeah.
protector for them, some size inside.
Yeah.
Definitely a challenge for all of the Big East teams for sure, but definitely something we can chat about and hopefully sit next to each other during games and talk about as well. So I can't wait for
Oh.
that. Basketball season is upon us. I know preseason games are starting. Those exhibition games are
Yes.
happening and getting ready
I have
to.
my first one on October 23rd.
Oh, that's coming
Let's
up.
go,
That's
let's go. Yes.
next week. So we're on and cracking.
Mhm.
Oh my God. I cannot wait to see you. Safe travels everywhere you go. I know, a little tenuous with the traveling I've seen on the news. So hopefully we
Yeah,
get in and out of everywhere we need to go this year in a safe way.
that part, I love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
renewal TNT with me.
I
And,
know.
yeah, same to you because I know you've got other obligations with Big Ten Network. I'll do Arizona. I've got NBC Peacock as well for Big Ten, so hopefully our paths cross there. So, yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be good.
I love it. I love it. It's all hoops all the time right here on the Her
Yes.
Stats podcast for Cindy Brunson, my girl. I'm Christy Winter Scott, and we'll see y'all next time. Everyone watches women's sports, baby. I love y'all.